What's up, you guys? It's Jacorean here. We're at my store, Meat Wigs, located here in Atlanta. And today we're going to get a little bit into my story.
Yeah, man. All right, man. We got Jacorean in the building, man. 478 TV, man. Appreciate you got there and giving me some of your time,
Thank you.
Definitely well appreciated. We've been communicating a little bit back and forth trying to make this happen. With the pandemic going on and you most recently, opening the store.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just kind of talk about, like, the last couple of months, like, how's everything been going?
Oh, well, the last couple of months for me, it's been really amazing. It's actually been life-changing, to say the least. My life literally completely changed in the course of 11 to 12 months, from me being evicted to making over $500,000 in just a couple of months. From launching a business in the middle of the pandemic. I actually launched my company July 1st of 2020. So we were in the middle of a pandemic, and I launched a whole new company and just literally took off overnight and just bloomed into success. And I started online in July, and I had an actual storefront by October. And then I actually opened the store in November, so I've been here since November.
No, definitely. We want to get into the whole process and let's take the people back, for the people that don't know you, let's start at the beginning, tell the people, where you from and where you grew up at.
Okay. So originally I'm from Forsyth, Georgia. But I moved to Macon when I was probably 5. So I went to school in Macon. I went to Miller, and then I went to Central for my 9th grade year. And then I went back to Forsyth and I finished school there. So I grew up in, between Macon and Forsyth. And then once I finished school, I came to Atlanta to go to hair school. And that didn't really work out for me because I was trying to live the fast life. And when I say fast life, not fast in a bad way, it was fast I was really trying to get into business. I wasn't interested in being in school or going to class. I just knew that wasn't for me. And I was just I want to, work with celebrities and do this. I wanted a store then, and I was just trying to move so fast. So I really wasn't focused on school. So that really wasn't getting me anywhere. So I ended up getting kicked out of school, and I started being a hair assistant and assistant to a celebrity. One of my clients was Jocelyn from Love and Hip Hop, and I was her assistant for a little bit, as well as doing hair until I kind of built my clientele up. And then just over the years, I've just done hair and just built my clientele, met different celebrities through word of mouth, or I work with one celebrity and they tell their celebrity friend, and I start working with them, and it's just kind of an ongoing situation, a domino effect.
Absolutely.
And so now I've probably done over 50 different celebrities.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Growing up, and making it for Forsyth, what? In your words, how would you describe it? What I'm saying? Especially being up here in the city now.
Growing up, I described it as, when I was younger, I always knew that I wanted more out of life. I knew what I seen was not enough. I knew that being in Macon and Forsyth, it was so small-minded, a bunch of crabs in the barrel, and I just knew that wasn't the life that I desired. Especially from looking at people on TV and different things like that. I just knew that, life had more to offer than just being here and being in this small town or doing this little thing. And I just knew that I wasn't going to get a job. I remember being 16, want to have a job like everybody else. Oh yeah, I want to go work at McDonald's or Walmart or whatever, people did at 16 for jobs. I was oh yeah, I want to do that. And I remember putting in application after application for different jobs, all kind of restaurants, and nobody ever called me for an interview. I've never been called and say, hey, we would like to interview you for the position. So at that point, I was okay, well, maybe it's not meant for me to have a job. And I was maybe I should create my own, revenue. And that's how I started selling things. I actually started selling clothes first because I had a boutique at the time. So when I was 17, I started my own online boutique. And I did that till I was probably about 19 or 20, and then I completely ventured off into hair.
Okay, we're gonna get into that most definitely. Growing up, did you have a 2-parent home or a 1-parent home?
So my parents haven't been together since I was like probably one. So I've never experienced like my mom and dad being together. I had both my parents in life, but they were never together. And my dad, he had a girlfriend, and my mom, she got married, and I had a stepfather. So I lived in the home with my mom, and so it was me, my mom, and my stepfather, and then I had like a little sister later on down the line.
Okay. So what was your relationship like with your father growing up?
I honestly, I can't really say I remember. And when I say I can't remember, not that it was bad, it just, I don't remember like it being nothing out of the ordinary, let's say that. So like, I would go spend time like every other weekend or so with my dad and like go to my aunt's house and like my dad's side of the family. So, me and my dad, I don't feel like we were as close when I was younger. I feel like we're really close now. Like we can sit on the phone for like hours and just talk about different business stuff and just have like different conversations that I never thought we would even be having. So I feel like the older I got, the closer my relationship grew with my dad.
Wow. You mentioned your younger sister. Like, how was it growing up being the oldest sibling?
Well, on my mom's side, I'm the oldest sibling, but on my dad's side, I'm the middle child. So with me being the oldest and the middle, I feel like I was what they had called middle child syndrome, where middle children usually like require a lot of attention because they're just in the middle. So I feel like I kind of had that in a sense because I guess I needed more attention than others. I've always been very different. I've never been like the average or like most kids. Like I just always been different. Just because I feel like I had a different calling in my life. So I always been like rebellious. Like if you say go right, I want to go left, and I just always been like that.